Alright, welcome back, traders. Your host here, Mr. Know-It-All. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day for all the fathers out there. And thank you guys so much again for joining us here this evening. Alright, so as you guys know, we are about an hour out from the daily and weekly candle close. Lots of FUD going on in the market right now. You got China shutting down some mining operations. You got I don't know, all sorts of news going on right now that I don't really even pay attention to. As you guys know, we just pay attention to the charts. And so we were in this rising wedge pattern here that we identified like last week, and so we started breaking down here. And ultimately, obviously, rising wedge patterns, they break down to the bottom of the wedge. All right. So far, we've made a higher low than this low down here. We haven't broken the lows just yet. All right, everyone, calm down. But ultimately, we could see that. We could see this happen to come back down and test this low to do the entire measure move of this structure. Okay. Now, what I did say last week was, if we came back up to the 21 EMA, this $42,000 to $43,000 range, which we didn't even get to so far, all right? We did not even test it. We didn't even get up to higher than $41,280, all right? We would make this structure that's a head and shoulders pattern type structure, which is a bearish structure, okay? And this is what we're looking for. For the bearish pattern to play out, we would need to come back down and test these lows and break them and confirm a break below them. So we have to break below the 50-day moving average, which is right around this $30,000 area. Once we break this $30,000 area and regard it then as resistance, we could definitely see, with a high probability chance, we're going to go we would go on down to 25,000. This next Fibonacci extension here, and guys. That's if we break this $30,000 support area, right? We have yet to do that. I will say the DXY coming in strong here last week after the Fed meeting. We did put in like a weekly reversal candle here. That could definitely have an impact on the markets, right? The DXY going up. We're breaking out of this wedge right now. That could spell some trouble for the equities markets and for the crypto markets, of course. All right, so we need to definitely pay attention to this. We are towards the top of the Bollinger Bands here on the weekly time frame. Right, so we do have some RSI divergence here. Okay, something to pay attention to. Something to pay attention to. All right. Now, technically, we have this breakout, right? You can see we're above all these moving averages here on the weekly, and I do suspect we will see after this breakout a back test of the breakout. Okay, now this could happen for a couple days, right? So we could see the dollar back test this area, 91.3. Right, that's what I do suspect we see a pullback here. All right. And right now, we've also made a lower high than this high here. I do suspect, though, after making this double bottom, we will, at some point, come back up to test this 93.1 area on the DXY, which would trigger Bitcoin to continue to sell off, okay? Now, it's not a 100% correlation, guys, but there is obviously a very high correlation between the DXY and Bitcoin, right? That's the bearish scenario, man. That's what we're looking at. So we're looking at another lower high potentially being made here on Bitcoin. We have yet to make higher highs on price, right? We're in we're in a range. We're just stuck in a range right now. Literally stuck in this range. So this is the range, the top side of the range and the bottom side of this range, and we're in the middle of it, right? it's tough. There's not really much to really discuss about the price of Bitcoin right now. We're either going to break the bottom of the support. All right, we break the bottom. We'll see lower lows. If we don't break the bottom and we build supports and make higher lows up here, we're going to make another attempted rally, right? And the chart right now on the 4-hour is implying a move back up on the 4-hour time scale, right? So let's get back above 36.2, this area right here. We get back above 36.2, you got the 50-day moving average right here around 37.6. That's going to pose as another resistance area, just as a moving average. All right, obviously then you have your major top side of the range resistance around $40,720. Hope it dips a little, yeah? Well, you might get a dip. Might get another dip, especially if we get a rejection here. Okay. So the daily chart, kind of pinning on the daily right now. So that's, we did see some buyers coming here on a Sunday, which is interesting. So a lot of people are talking about this death cross right here. All right, that's a real thing. Okay, and that could ensue further selling. All right, that's typical of what this means. Right after we had a death cross here, we got some crazy scam pump, and then we just kind of dumped further down, right, to make lower lows. We had a death cross back here going into the bear market, right? We then came up to the 200 moving average, rejected again to continue to make lower highs and lower lows. And we also get death cross on the 4-hour. Sure, you can get a death cross on any time scale. So the only thing about this death cross that's different than the other death crosses, in my opinion, is that we made a higher high on price up here, okay? And this death cross here, we weren't coming out of a higher high on price. We were coming out of a lower high on price. The only one that, and this top here, I don't think we're out of market. I honestly do not believe we're out of market cycle top. Okay, that is the only other thing here that is kind of throwing into this mix. Okay, that's different than all the other death crosses that we've had. And there's one other metric here that I want to show you guys as well, which is the stock to flow model. All right. We can also look at the cycle chart. The cycle chart is, changes every day based on the data, right? So you guys already know about the cycle chart, and so this is basically saying we go sideways here for a bit, but it's been saying that for the last 2 weeks. So I'm not really putting too much weight here on the cycle chart, but what did catch my interest and what was interesting was the stock to flow model. Okay. How's it going, man? 12-hour MACD hidden bullish divergence. We can definitely take we can definitely look at that. I did see something interesting. So this is when I did the video on are we in a bull or bear market. This chart here was still intact, right? So we have yet. See you in 3 years. All right, Jack. We'll see you in 3 years, brother. We haven't broken this trend line yet. All right, so that's still on the table here, right? Now, I just discussed what's happening with the DXY. If the DXY is going to actually make a reversal and not like a fake breakout, okay, then we're going to see Bitcoin and the stock market continue to rally. All right, if we do get a breakout, a strong breakout, and there's confirmation of that, well, it's going to be tough for Bitcoin and the stock and the equities markets to really rally. All right, so we need to pay attention to that. It's something you really need to watch closely. But right now, here on the daily, we haven't made lower lows than this low here since June 8th. If you guys are just joining, we're still stuck in this trading range. We have not broke this trading range. We also have not come up to test this $42,000 to $44,000 area to reject it as resistance. We have not even, we barely made an attempted rally here. We came up to 41,278, which was still way below the 21. We didn't even get a real rejection of the 21 EMA on the weekly. All right. Okay. So a death cross impending. Someone's talking about since a lot of people are seeing that head and shoulders top, if it breaks that neckline and then within 2 days or less closes back above the neckline, it's very bullish. Yeah, so you could get a fake break on the pattern for sure. Listen, there's we're not there yet right now. We're putting in a pin bar here on the daily chart. And that's pretty strong. All right, we haven't broken this support. We've tested it now, and then we got almost an instant buying pressure to come in, right? But again, we're still below the 200 moving average. You know, in all honesty, the longer we stay below the 200 moving average, the weaker the trend becomes. Okay, so like, it's not necessarily a good thing to stay below the 200. Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys here. What has to happen for people to concede we are going into a bear market? What has to concede is, what do you mean? What's going on, Bones? Jack Blue, you can just short the whole market. Just continue to short it, man. I mean, you have short opportunities, take them. You have long opportunities, take them. I mean, that's what you do with these markets, right? We are just stuck in this trading range right now. We're still in this flag, this bear flag, whatever you want to call this. All right, it's definitely a bear flag, right? And for us to get really out of this, you got to get back above the 200-day. That's it. What has to happen for people to finally say we're going into a bear market? I would say official bear market would really start, man, once we go below the 21 on the monthly, right? Because every single time we go just below the 21, or I would even say the 9, to be honest, on the 21, the 9 EMA on the monthly. Okay. So this 6-month candle close is pretty important. I was telling you guys about that for a long time, the last 2 weeks. If we make a 6-month candle close, that means by July 1st, if Bitcoin closes below 30K on the 6-month, or on this month and the 6-month chart, yeah, we're going to see 6 months of downside price action after that. XRP I can take a look at, sure. And right now on the 9, we're below the 9 right now on the monthly. So if we see more selling this week going into the close, sure, we're going to probably see another 6 months of downside price action. Okay? Yep, the Gravestone Doji. That's right. Which is a very, very bearish setup. Yep. But that's really it, guys. I mean, the daily today actually looks. I mean, we got some buying pressure to come in here off this support. We haven't closed below this support to break the lows just yet. We're just in this range, guys. We're just in a range. Caleb, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys coming out and hanging out with me tonight. Make sure you guys smash the like button up, hit the subscribe button, you know, and do all that fun stuff that you guys would do on any other channel. Do it here for me. Appreciate that. We're going to look at XRP. We're going to look at ETH, actually. There was actually something interesting that I was looking at on the ETH BTC chart. But I want to show you guys also the the stock to flow on Bitcoin for a second. So this isn't the chart I want. I think it's on this chart. So I noticed something interesting here, all right? Tolga, you can get a death cross on any time frame, man. It just means the 50 days crossing the 200 day. It's a bit of a lagging indicator. All right. Anyways, every single time stock to flow goes into these green areas, all right, we're at some sort of bottom before a major leg up, right? But like even here, we got into this green area here. This was the Corona crash, right? We got this major leg up. Down here, okay, in September, October, we were in the green side of stock to flow. We got a major leg up. We're now in the green territory again, all right? We're also diverging here on the stock to flow model, okay? But literally every single time we go into the green area on stock to flow, we see it gravitate back towards this line, this median trend line, all right? And we're way below this median trend line right now on stock to flow. So that's something to pay attention to. We might see a continued sell-off into this, though. You know, like that's still possible. But if you believe in the stock to flow model at all, we could see this kind of just chill here for a while. Maybe we can consolidate here for a month, right? I'm not bearish until we break 30K and until we actually come back to test 30K and reject it. All right, then we'd be looking for lots of shorts, lots of downside price action. Because right now we're still holding in this range. We have not made a candle closure below this major trend line. All right, lots of people are bearish. The fear and greed index is obviously at extreme fear levels right now. We've been in extreme fear levels for quite some time now during this move down, right? So that's my opinion, right? So like, I will say though that Bitcoin isn't really doing too much right now. It's just stuck in this trading range, okay? And this rising wedge completion, it was pretty close to completing it, right? You know, the bottom of the wedge, wick to wick, would be down here at like 31.3, which is the bottom of this pattern. But we came pretty close. We came pretty close. 40,000 Bitcoins go to the moon. The bulls are out. Bears are liquidated. Okay. Yeah. So there's just a lots of there's lots of FUD going on right now. I don't see this as a blow off top either. This wasn't a blow off top. This is just like a tabletop. We've never made a tabletop as our market cycle top in any of these bull markets. So it just seems I don't know. Just doesn't seem like Bitcoin. Like that's just not how Bitcoin operates during these cycles, right? At any point in time, do you see a tabletop as the top? No, I don't. I mean, we see these major corrections. You know, we see. I don't know. It just seems like the only thing here that is kind of alarming is the fact that we're below the weekly 21, and we never went below the weekly 21 in this bull market, and well, we're below it right now. We're below the weekly 21. So it's got some people confused, that's for sure. That's for sure. But like I said, below 30K and a candle closure rejecting 30K after it's tested and regarded as resistance, we go into a bear market. All right. This right here is not, we're not in a bear market just yet. It's not yet confirmed. And this is another indicator here that's pretty helpful to use the Gaussian channels here on the 5-day. So we're actually we just came back into the Gaussian channel, and we don't typically do that unless we go into a bear market. Like right here, this is where we entered one back here in March of 2018, where we didn't get out of the Gaussian channel until, well, this breakout here, right? So there's definitely some conflicting things happening right now. Like stock to flow saying, hey, we're at a bottom. Gaussian channel saying, hey, we're going into a bear market. We have a death cross. What about the Dow Jones? Yeah, so I was just talking about that. The S&P, all right? The S&P and the Dow Jones, you know, both gapping down on Friday. You know, definitely doesn't help Bitcoin at all. Right? Yeah. So this is you know, this is where it becomes maybe problematic, right? So we're at this top. You know, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches up here. We started breaking out of it, and we sold back below it. Sold back below it. Right? We can easily come back down to, you know, this level here, this major support. We can look at total 2 and BTC dominant, sure. So total 2 is still holding above the 21 weekly. We got a bit of rejection here on the monthly. But this daily candle actually just, I mean, this looks like we got some we have some divergence forming here on the total 2 chart. All right. And this actually looks like some sort of maybe cipher pattern. Right? 786 bib. It's pretty close to the pattern completion zone for this setup here. Okay. So that looks interesting to me. And still above the 200-day moving average here on the daily. And obviously well above all moving averages here on the weekly chart for total 2. So the ETH Bitcoin chart looked also very interesting to me. And let's take a look at it. Another Gartley setup here as well. And you can see the volume coming in today. A nice bullish engulfing candle here, about 35 minutes going into the close. That looks interesting. Looks interesting for sure. Right, so you still have higher highs than, or you still have this divergence forming here on the daily chart for ETH Bitcoin. Right, and you have some hidden bullish divergence here on the RSI. Right, lower levels of relative strength, but a higher low on price than these lows here. It's some hidden bullish divergence forming here, for sure. Happy Father's Day. Yep. So the ETH Gartley setup here is interesting to really look at. But you guys know that the take profits on these are probably up to these levels here on 3K to a low. These would technically just be lower highs, right? Alright, we have 35 people watching. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you guys want, let's look at, okay, we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance. I still think we get up close to the 50% area, which is this falling wedge target. See, this weekly is still technically a lower high than these two weeklies up here. But we're like slowly starting to make this cross up. This also looks like another cipher or another Gartley type pattern, or maybe a shark. I don't know. Basic definitely was a wedge though on this. So yeah, we got up to the first area here on 46, pulled back. Now we're pulling back right now, but I think ultimately the target is up to roughly 48, maybe 50% area, right? This range up here. All right, if you guys have any other tickers you guys want me to cover, please throw them in the chat. So. Well, 1 inch looking interesting here, right? We have this liquidation dump here. This was this initial dump. But it's been since then making higher lows and respecting this trend line. And the 4 hour looks really good here on 1 inch. So we were looking to look at XRP. I think that was requested. Lots of stuff on this chart. So we're still in this major structure on XRP, and we got this breakout, right? It just makes sense for us to come back down to back test the breakout, especially right now with Bitcoin having its correction. Yeah, so this is kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at a downslope consolidation. It looks kind of like a cipher. Right? Like maybe down here to 786. This area here where you have this major cluster of support, I think that would be like the PCZ of this structure, where we could see price action or XRP pick up some bids down here on the 67 cent area, and then make a nice rally back up to the A and the C areas up here. Right, so that's like a nice long entry setup. Okay. Pay attention to this. I think this is, you could see some, maybe like another leg down is what I'm saying. And look for entry towards here on these supports. Well, the 4 hour actually looks, yeah, I mean, we're bouncing right here off this previous area here. That's pretty close actually to this level. Yeah, we're touching these supports right here, right now. Right? Right, we're touching these areas right here, right now. Right. And this is technically a higher low right here. 4 hour looking good. Got a cross up through here on the STP DMI indicator, and the MACD candles starting to revert back to this mean here, right? So if you get an actual cross on a MACD, this could be a major move back up, okay? And the buy-sell zone indicator is also indicating and letting us know there could be continuation here. Obviously, again, this is really all going to depend on what Bitcoin does, and it's going to depend on what the DXY is doing. It's going to depend on a lot of different factors, for sure, right? Nothing for sure in trading, guys. Remember that. Nothing is a guarantee. There is no such thing as guaranteed profits or guaranteed things to have happen, right? So there's probabilities to have these things happen, and there's always a chance that it could not also work out. So if you're new to trading, make sure you guys understand these concepts. I am not giving financial advice, or these are only my opinions of what I'm seeing on these charts. All right. And this looks interesting for sure on the daily. Bouncing off the bottom Bollinger Band here, okay, and definitely making a higher low on the RSI. Now, are we making a higher low on price? No, we are making a lower low on price and a higher low on the RSI, showing RSI bullish divergence on the oscillator here, the MACD oscillator. We're showing it also here as well. Back from May 23rd. Okay, so this is technically a lower low, right? Candle body wise on the daily, it's technically a lower low. All right, so lower low on price, higher low on the RSI. RSI bullish divergence. We're in a Gartley setup here. We're pretty close to the 786 fib extension. All right, we're already diverging. We're already starting to show divergence. So we're really close to a setup here, all right? This pattern becomes invalidated when we make a candle closure below these support levels, all right? But right now, it's still valid. See if we get the respect that XRP deserves here on the chart. This is pretty close too. It's not quite. That's a lower low on price. There is a divergence there. We'll see what that kind of matriculates into. All right, we're showing separation here on the stochastics as well. We'll look at H bar, sure. So getting this bounce here off this support here. Okay. Let's go to the daily for a second. All right. So this looks really interesting. We're trying to pivot right here off this daily support, and what we can see, though, is the daily stochastics kind of pointed down here. We're still in bearish territory. We're up towards the bottom of the band, so that's good. We got some, maybe bearish convergence here, though, which isn't good on here on the daily. All right. Let's get some fib targets on this. Where are we on this chart? All right, so we're right at the 236 fib extension. If this doesn't hold, we're gonna see 10 cents, okay, or we're gonna see 16 cents first, this area here. But if we don't hold this fib, we're definitely going to see the next fib down, all right? But it looks like volume receding here might be brewing for a move back up. It really depends on Bitcoin. You guys already know. The TA only plays out when Bitcoin is doing good, doing well. But this could be interesting. Got a double bottom here. All right. And this is a falling wedge. This is a 4-hour falling wedge. And if you get a breakout, you're looking, back up towards the top of these targets. Like the top of the wedge being the ultimate target. All right. All right, so we still have 23 people on. Thank you guys so much for staying with me here through the weekly and daily candle close. Make sure you guys smash up the like button if you guys are liking the content here, and tick the little bell. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and tick the little bell to get all the updates here at Swing Trade Pros. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys join the Discord. That is where all of the information about STP and what we're doing here is. That is where everything is happening right now. If USD drops to 1950 during the stream, I'll send a tip. All right, cool. Let's watch DOT. It closes in 22 minutes. 22 minutes. Sure, we're gonna look at FTM here in a second. So kind of going, just consolidating here. You're definitely in a Bollinger Band squeeze, and it's looking pretty tight on the Bollinger Bands right here on the daily chart. Got some separation coming in here, building this positive momentum. All right. Now you haven't crossed bullish yet on the daily. I would assume on the shorter time scales you have. Yep, the 4 hours is bullish, above zero here on the MACD, and you're starting to form some bullish divergence here on the MACD oscillator. Okay, you're just consolidating here for a bit, looks like. Sideways price action. You can see the volume coming in here, though, on the 4 hour. All right, so there could be a major move coming for this asset. Again, it looks like another type of cipher pattern, right? For this one, pretty good cipher, right? You're looking at targets up to, A and C up here on 40 cents. All right. Let's take a look at RLC for a second. I was looking at that the other day, wondering if it's still valid. Yeah, this looks pretty good, man. This looks pretty good. RLC could see a major move, man, on the 4 hour here. Right back up to this like 440 area. Look at the volume coming in here on the 4 hour chart. What else you guys got tonight? Where did I have 1 inch drawn out? I feel like I had this drawn out somewhere. Let's see. No. This is also another cipher pattern. But anyways, yeah, so you can see like this rectangle that it broke, it tried to break out from, you know, obviously this is when Bitcoin broke down, and now we're trying to get back above this area. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4 higher lows. We'll see if we can get a break back above this range here on 1 inch. That would be extremely bullish to see, right? You know, in this like major triangle setup here, but what I was looking at was actually a major cipher on this. Okay, it was a pretty major cipher, right? And so we'll see how this plays out. This looks pretty good. Hey Michael, thank you so much for the sub, man. Appreciate that. Make sure you come and join the Discord, right? That's where all the Bitcoin signals are. That's where all the information is. That's where the community hangs out. Lots of fun things happening in there. I'll post that here in a second in the chat. All right, yeah. So make sure you join the Discord. I pinned it to the chat here. So Rune broke this trend line. We're seeing a pullback correction here with this asset. We're actually gonna look at this a little bit more closely right now, because I feel like we can draw this a little bit better, and we can see something here that's very interesting, and that's this channel up. Do you guys see this? Alright, you guys see this? This is on a weekly time scale. Now if we go to like a 3-day or a daily, you're going to see it kind of starting to round out here. And you're going to get towards this bottom area. If we get towards this like $5 area, that's probably a mint place for a long-term accumulation. Oh, yeah, I'll take a look at it, man. BNB, sure. It's been a minute since I looked at BNB. Yeah, it does kind of look like August, right, back here? Where you have this sideways price action, you know, pull back to the demand line and then a rip. So we could see something similar. If this is all going to depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks 30K and candle closes below it and does the bearish scenario, then none of this TA is going to play out, okay? Just understand that. If you're new to this space, or if you're new to trading crypto, all the TA that's done on here is all relevant to what Bitcoin's doing. Okay, but right now, we're holding this demand line, all right? Well, I also see a nice cipher pattern here, right? 618 fib, and then probably down close to this 886 area, which we're pretty much at. All right, you can see that we're getting a little bit of a rally here today. with the rest of the market. Nothing crazy. Is still in a bear trend right now. Short term, downtrend. Okay. You can see that this be our resistance area, right? And we can just hold this demand line and trade in this demand line for quite some time. Right. Probably going to see a mid-July type move. If this breaks north, we could do something like this, where we come up, we reject it again, we come back down, make another higher low, and we break the triangle to the upside about halfway through. Bukowski on the triangle setups. Okay. And this is an ascending triangle bottoming formation, like this type of triangle right here, right? So this is what we're looking at if it's doing something like this. Okay. Can be in any direction leading to the chart patterns. Doesn't matter if it's the price is trending up or trending down. Doesn't matter. Okay. Price must touch one trend line at least 3 times, the other at least twice, forming distinct valleys and peaks. Right. So we haven't done all that yet. We've touched it. We've touched it once so far. And we probably need to come back down and touch it again, or a second touch. So we're just in a consolidation right now. All right. That's BNB. We're gonna look at cake. Now cake looking really tight, like coming down to this demand line, right? So probably a nice buying opportunity. Same type of thing with BNB, right? Third touch, get the rally. Second touch up top, pull back to a third higher low. I want to show you guys something similar that I noticed in the charts on ETH. If you guys haven't checked out my ETH video, check it out. I think this is still viable, and people are super bearish right now, and I get why. I mean, the dollar's rallying, so if the dollar's rallying, crypto can't rally, and that's just what it is. But IJ Money, if you really want to believe that, I don't believe that. We're probably still going to see a blow off top, man. In all honesty. Anyways, so I think this is where we're at in this current cycle on ETH, where we did one of these, right? Where we had this rising channel, right? We had this rising channel. This is actually right where we're at around, right in June, right? Where we had about a 70% correction. So we went up to the top here on $450, came down to $140, bottomed out here in mid-July. Are you guys listening? Mid-July. We have about 4 more weeks before that happens. And then we went 800% from there, okay, from this bottom, mid-July. But 70% correction, okay? What have we done so far? Here's the upsloping channel, right? Looks very similar to what we did back here, right? Higher highs on price, 70% correction would bring us, you know, right back down to test the breakout area, the 1450, 15. Nobody wants to hear this, man. But $1,500 ETH is where I'm really targeting for this. All right. And maybe like 8 to 10x from there, towards the end of the market cycle, which which would put us, you know, something close to, you know, 15K, 14K, like right up here at the 1272 fib extension. All right. We'll see. This could be it. We did about a 60-something percent. It doesn't have to be 70%. But if Bitcoin's going to break down, then we're probably going to do something close to what we did last time, right? So that's something to pay attention to. Right? That's something to pay attention to. IJ Money, I think lots of these institutions aren't even in yet. Yeah. Let's be real about it. Is Chase Bank in? Is Bank of America in? Are all these banks in? Probably not. Are they selling Bitcoin to their clients yet? Probably not. Probably not. And I think that's what's really going to catalyze this next run is all this actual adoption, not just speculative adoption, right? Yeah, we're going into a squeeze here on ETH, man. We're in a squeeze. We are in a daily squeeze right now. We've bounced off the bottom Bollinger Band here. We could maybe trek back up. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. We're looking at some bullish signs for ETH here in the short term, right? ETH BTC looking pretty good, right? Coming in with a nice bullish engulfing candle today. Right at the bottom of this demand line, this nice little Gartley setup here. This could take us back up to about 7-something% or close to it. Michael, that's exactly right. $10 trillion market cap. We're looking at $200,000 to $250,000 Bitcoin in roughly $15,000 to $20,000 Ethereum price, and we're not even there yet, man. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to happen by the end of this year. I really do. And everyone's super bearish. We got a death cross. You know, we got all this FUD happening with China, and I don't know. I'm not bearish until we break 30K and make a candle closure below the neckline and confirm it as resistance. All right, we haven't done that yet. For right now, we're just trading in a range. And that's why I haven't been streaming. There's nothing to really talk about. There's nothing to really talk about right now. We're just trading in a range. We're in a consolidation. In a consolidation right now. We had major moves made this year. You know, over 600% growth for crypto. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? I still think there's more to come. We might see equities sell off, and if that happens, it's going to affect the crypto market. We're going to see sell off continue for Bitcoin. But until that happens, I'm remaining bullish. I'm remaining bullish or neutral right now. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not bearish right now. The fundamentals of the dollar are just so crap. They just printed so much money. They're not going to be really tapering at all until the end of this year into next year, which is in line with the end of the cycle. I suspect we will see a major sell-off going into the end of the year, into next year, which is normal after these cycles, though. We're going to see from here until, we might get another 2-3 weeks of consolidation. I just don't want to see a 6-month, bearish gravestone doji painted on a 6-month chart. That would be bad, man. That would be bad. Yeah, IJ Money, definitely. I mean, you don't want to be all your eggs in one basket type of deal for sure. Jason J, crypto to zero. Is that why you watch this channel, man? Because you want crypto to go to zero? I feel you, bro. Let's look at the BLX real quick. Okay, this has a lot of the chart data that I want to show you guys. So the 6-month chart. Right. So if we close this candle, okay. Now this is delayed like a day, right? We're gonna open a new candle here in another minute. Actually, let's go back to the chart for a second. Let's just go back to it while we watch the new daily candle open. New weekly candle open, new daily candle open. We technically didn't make lower lows on price this week, although we are getting a lower candle body close right now going into the close. Sure, Mike. Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. Yep. All right, so the new daily candle open here in about 5 seconds. What do you guys think we do this week? I want to see in the chat. Do we break 30K this week, or do we break above 40K this week? Go. I think it's impossible we see a $0 Bitcoin, just saying. Clay says more sideways. Okay. Refugee 75K this week. Nice. Dave says 40. IJ Money 40K plus. Okay. How about Soldier? What do you think, man? If you're still watching. Satoshi Nakamoto says 13K in 6 months' time. Crypto Me says 28K. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to attempt a rally this week, early part of the week, as the DXY pulls back to back test its breakout from this week, or from last week. So I'm going to say this. Tomorrow into Tuesday, we're probably going to see Bitcoin try to rally. All right? We're going to see it try to rally. And it really all depends on what the DXY is doing, what the equities markets are doing. If all of the above is bearish, meaning the stock market's selling off and DXY is pumping, then there's no way that Bitcoin can rally. Really, it's really that simple. And so right now we're at pretty much an area, a pivot point area. Okay. This candle here was definitely a pin bar. All right, this is a pin bar candle. All right, we just wicked off the support. All right. Looks like consolidation to try to make a test higher. That's what this looks like to me. All right, on the shorter term timescales. No, I think it's possible we go and test the top side of the range. All right. Guess we'll see. Start getting hard rejections up here, then We already know the bottom side target is the $31,746 area. That major support down here to complete the rising wedge breakdown. All right, so if we get rejected up here, we're looking at a move further down. All right. All right, make sure you guys smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, and tick the little bell. And I will catch you guys maybe sometime this week. We'll do a quick stream during the week. All right. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You guys have a wonderful week. We'll catch you guys sometime this week with some static content and or some streams. You guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We will catch you guys sometime during the week.